So trapezoidal rule. So please note, in last class we derived this general integral formula, that is I means integral, definite integral, that is equal to integral a to b f of x dx, that is equal to h into n y0 plus n square by 2 delta y0 plus n cube by 3 minus n square by 2 divided by 2 delta square y0 plus etc. Okay. So how we derive this one? First we have a function with respect to x. So this is x and this is y equal to f of x, y equal to f of x, okay, or simply y. So this is the function, okay. So this one is the starting point, that is a, and this is last point b, okay. So we are asked to find the area under this curve from a to b. So what we are doing, we are dividing this segment a to b into n, means we are dividing this region a to b into n segments, okay. So this is one segment, this is one segment, this is second segment, etc. This is the nth segment, okay. So if you are dividing a region into n segments, we have n plus 1 points. So if you are equally dividing this region into n points, we have n plus 1 points, and those n plus 1 points are the finite data, where this is x0, the starting point a is x0 and corresponding value is y0, this is x1 and the corresponding value is y1, this is x2 and the corresponding value is y2, this is xn minus 1 and the corresponding value is yn minus 1, okay, and this is xn and the corresponding value is yn, okay. This is the last point, b is xn, this is xn and the corresponding value is yn, this is yn, okay. And we have one more thing, the each point xi is equal to x0 plus I into h, where h is the difference between the adjacent x values, and xn is equal to x0 plus nh, okay. So by using all these details we derive this equation. So now we are assuming that, say, I told you a to b is the integral region, we are assuming that we have only one segment, we have only one segment, okay. So please note, I am going to remove this figure, okay. So say this one is the function, this is a function, so this is x and this is y and this one is a function. Now this is the starting point a and this is the last point b, okay, and we are not going to divide this region, means we have only one segment, right? So if you have only one segment, this is x0, that is first point, this is second point x1, this is the second point x1, and what is the difference between these two, or what is h? H is equal to x1 minus x0, that is also equal to b minus a. If you have only one segment, then this h is equal to b minus a, that is also equal to x1 minus x0. So what we are assuming, we have only two data, the starting point and the last point. We are not going to divide the given integral region to a higher number. We have only one segment, okay. So please note, we have means AB is the region, and we are not going to divide this region. If you are not going to divide this region, then the number of sub intervals are n equal to 1, means we have only one interval. So the given interval is the sub interval where there is no other interval. So n equal to 1 and h is equal to b minus a. Is it okay? So my question is, if you have only one region, what is I? Please tell me what is I. Please note, we have only one interval, that is n equal to 1, h equal to b minus a. Then what is I? Please tell me. The general formula is given. So now tell me what is I? Am I audible? Okay. Hy0. Why? There is only only one intervals. Okay. So any other answer? Okay, okay. So I'm not wasting time. So here I is equal to, if you have only one interval, means if you have 2 points x0 and x1, then I is equal to h into, in bracket, n equal to 1, n equal to 1. So y0 plus n square by 2. So n square, n equal to 1, n square by 2 is 1 by 2 into delta y0. Is it okay? Can I write this term? Definitely, we can write this one. But we can't write the remaining terms. Why? I can write only, or I can consider the first term only. We can't consider the remaining terms. Why? Because we have only 2 points, x0, and corresponding to x0 we have y0, and we have x1, and corresponding to x1 we have y1. If we have 2 points, we can calculate up to delta y0. We can't calculate delta square y0, delta cube y0, etc. Because we have 2 points, so n equal to 1, n plus 1 equal to 2, n equal to 1, with n equal to 1 we can find up to delta y0. So these terms are not available. Please note that. So I is equal to h into y0 plus 1 by 2 into delta y0. Okay. So we can remove this one. So please note I is equal to h into y0 plus 1 by 2 into delta y0. So we have I is equal to h into y0 plus 1 by 2 delta y0. Now my question is, what is delta y0? Delta y0 is y1 minus y0. Am I correct? So I is equal to h into y0 plus 1 by 2 into y1 minus y0. Okay. So we can write I equal to h into y0 plus y1 minus y0 divided by 2, where y1 minus y0 is delta y0. So if you are solving this term, then you can see that I is equal to h into, so this is y0 and here we have y0 by 2. So what is remaining? Plus y0 by 2. So this term will become h into y0 plus y1 divided by 2. So please note, our integration I equal to integral a to b f of x dx will become h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Okay. So please note I is equal to integral a to b f of x dx is equal to h by 2 y0 plus y1. Means if we are not dividing the given interval, this is the integration. I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. So you can see that what is this is y0, this length is y0, this length is y1, and what is h? B minus a. So this is h. So you can see that this h by 2 into y0 plus y1, I equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1 is nothing but the equation of area of a trapezoidal. Am I correct? This one is the area of a trapezoidal. So this integral equation or this rule is known as the trapezoidal rule. Is it clear, all of you? So as per the trapezoidal rule, the integral numerical integration I is equal to integral a to b f of x dx is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Please remember this. Please note down this final equation I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Okay. So now we are going to extend this one. So the next one is, so please note I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Okay. So the next one is composite trapezoidal rule. Okay. So please note, in composite trapezoidal rule, first consider the function. This is a function x, y, and we have the function. So this is a function, and this is the starting value a. This is the ending value b, and we are asked to find the area under this curve from a to b. Now we are going to divide this interval into n plus. We are going to divide this interval to n segment. So divide this range to, or this region to, n segments. So this is first segment, this is first segment, this is second segment, this is third segment, etc., etc. This is n minus 1th segment, this is n minus 1th segment, and this is nth segment. So we can mark it as 1, 2, 3, etc. n minus 1, then last one is n. Means the given region, given interval a to b is divided into n segment. So if you have n segment, definitely we have n plus 1 points, where the first point is a itself. So this is x0 and corresponding value is y0. Now this is x1 and corresponding value is y1. This is x2 and corresponding value is y2, etc. This is xn minus 1, that is after n minus 1th interval, after n minus 1th segment or before nth segment. We have xn minus 1 and this is yn minus 1. And the last data b is xn and corresponding value is yn. Okay. So now we are going to just consider the first segment only. Just consider this segment. Now my question is, if you are considering first segment, what is the integration of that first segment? We can write it as I1, means integration of first segment, that is from x0 to x1. Integration from, that is from this point to this point. What is the integration? Can anyone say that? My question is, first we have to know this difference. This difference is x1 minus x0, that is equal to h. The difference between the adjacent data is h. So x1 minus x0 is h, x2 minus x1 is h, etc., etc. xn minus 1 is h. So this integration is, this particular integration, that is marked as I1, that is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Is it correct or not? Please give me an answer. This is correct. Okay. So I1, the first interval or area under the curve from y0 to y1 is h by 2 into y0 plus y1. Okay. So now consider the next region. Second segment. This is the second segment. And what is the starting value? x1 comma y1. What is the ending value? x2 comma y2. So we can mark it as I2. Now what is its integration? What is I2 now? Its width is h by 2 into, now what is inside bracket? The starting value, this is a starting value y1 plus this is the ending value y2. So the second interval is y1 plus y2. If we are applying trapezoidal rule on the second segment, then I2, the corresponding integration, numerical integration, I2 is equal to h by 2 into y1 plus y2. Is it okay? So now, what about the next segment? Say this one. What about this one? Again, the width is h, the starting value is y2, ending value is y3, then what is I3? Exactly, h by 2 into y2 plus y3, y2 plus y3. Very good answer. Okay. So this one is shown here. Okay. Then this one is shown here. So now this second part is shown here. Okay. Now the third part is shown here. This is the third one. Okay. So now my question is, what is the last one? What about this region? This is last one. So we can write it as IN, because this one is the nth segment, whose width is again h, because we are equally dividing the segment. So this width is also h, whose starting value is yn minus 1 and the ending value is yn. So what is in? H by 2 into yn minus 1 plus yn. Very good. So if you are considering each piece, the area under that particular segment is shown here. Now we are going to consider the entire interval from A to B. If you are asked to find the area under the curve from A to B, what we can do? We can add the individual area. Can we do that? Yes. So it is known as the modified trapezoidal rule. This is known as the modified trapezoidal rule, where I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus etc. plus IN. So find it. What is I? Find it and give me the answer. What is I? If you are applying trapezoidal rule into each segment, then what is a composite trapezoidal rule? So if you are proceeding this one, then I is equal to integral a to b f of x dx, that is equal to integral x0 to x0 plus nh f of x dx. So that we can write it as integral x0 to x1, that is first segment, f of x dx, plus integral x1 to x2 f of x dx, that is second segment, that is from x1 to x2, plus etc. plus, now the last segment is integral xn minus 1 to xn f of x dx. Okay, we already discussed about that. That is equal to, applying trapezoidal rule to the above equation, each interval, each integration or each segment, we have I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus y1 plus h by 2 into y1 plus y2 plus etc. plus h by 2 into yn minus 2 plus yn minus 1, that is n minus 1 segment, this particular segment, plus h by 2 into yn minus 1 plus yn, that is last segment. So here you can see that if you are going through the entire equation, we have only one y0, we have only one yn, but we have 2y1, 2y2, 2y3, etc. 2yn minus 2 and 2yn minus 1. Please note, if you are going through this equation, we have only one y0 and yn. All other terms, we have two terms, 2y1, 2y2, 2y3, etc. up to 2yn minus 1. So we can write this integration after applying trapezoidal rule. We can write the composite trapezoidal rule, that is I is equal to h by 2 into, in curly bracket, first we have a parenthesis, that is y0 plus yn, plus 2 into y1 plus y2 plus etc. plus yn minus 1. The composite trapezoidal rule is I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus yn plus, now 2 into y1 plus y2 plus etc. plus yn minus 1. Please note down this equation. This is composite trapezoidal rule, and we are going to apply this equation. So next one is Simpson's 1/3 rule. So again, this one is the general integration formula that we derive. So now consider a function x f of x, that is y equal to f of x. Then this one is the function, and we are asked to find the integration from a to B. Okay. So now here we are going to divide this given interval into two equal subintervals. Please note, we are going to divide the given interval into two equal subintervals. Okay, so this is one subinterval, this is second subinterval. So how many points are there? Here n equal to 2, so we have 3 points. A is the first point x0, then we have this one that is x1, then we have a last point b that is equal to x2. Corresponding to x0 we have y0, corresponding to x1 we have y1, corresponding to x2 we have y2. Is it okay? So now if you have 3 points or if you have two equal subintervals, where what is this width? What is h value here? H is equal to x1 minus x0, or if we have the initial value a and b, we can directly find h, that is b minus a divided by 2. H is equal to b minus a divided by 2. If you are applying Simpson's one-third rule, then h equal to b minus a by 2. I am not saying about the composite Simpson's one-third rule. If you are applying Simpson's one-third rule, the simple one, h is equal to b minus a by 2. There is no need to do this one. We can simply find h by using the adjacent data, that is x1 minus x0 or x2 minus x1. Okay, but in general case means if theoretically for Simpson's one-third rule, h is equal to b minus a divided by 2. Okay, I am not confusing you now. So now what is I? Can you find I? Give me the answer. So what is the answer now? Up to what difference we can use? Up to what order difference we can use here? Can we use delta y0? Can we use delta square y0? Can we use delta cube y0? No. So we can use this from this term onwards. We can use. We can use first three terms. Okay. So we can write. So the I is equal to. So please note third and higher difference are 0. That is not available. We can use that. So we can write I is equal to h into, now this n is 2. We have two subintervals. So n equal to 2 into y0 plus. Now n square is 2 square divided by 2. So that is again 2 delta y0 plus. Now this term is I applied the LCM. So 2 into n cube minus 3 into n square divided by 6. And that 6 into 2 is 12. So that is written here. If you are solving this one will become 2n cube minus 3n square divided by 6 into 2, that is 12. So bottom you can see 12. Numerator you have 2 into n cube. So n cube is 2 cube minus 3 into n square, that is 2 square into delta square y0. So if you are solving this, we have h into 2 y0 plus 1, 2 and 2 are cancelled. So remaining 2 into, what is delta y0? Delta y0 is y1 minus y0 plus this value is, this is 2 into 2 cube, that is 16 minus This is 3 into 2 square, that is 12. So 16 minus 12, that is 4. So 4 by 12 into. Now what about delta square y0? Delta square y0 is y2 minus 2 y1 plus y0. Am I correct? So if you are solving this, we have h into. So please note, here we have 2y0, here we have minus 2y0. So 2y0 and minus 2y0 are cancelled. The remaining 2y1. So that is written here. Now what about this one? This is 4 by 12, that is 1 by 3 into y2 minus 2y1 plus y0. Okay. So if you are taking the LCM, we can write it as, take the LCM. So this term will become 6y1. Now take 3 to outside. So we have h by 3 into, what is remaining? 6y1 plus remaining term, y2 minus 2y1 plus y0. So 6y1 minus 2y1. So we have h by 3 into this y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. So please note, as per the Simpson's one-third rule, if you are dividing the given interval into two equal sub-intervals, then I is equal to integral a to b f of x dx is equal to h by 3 into y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. So please note down the Simpson's one-third rule is I is equal to h by 3 into y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. Okay. So please note, here we are dividing the given interval into 2. So we have the definite interval I is equal to h by 3 into y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. So now, like trapezoidal rule, we are going to derive the composite Simpson's one-third rule. Okay. So the next one is Simpson's composite one-third rule. So here, again consider the function x, y equal to f of x, and we are asked to find the integral from a to b. Now divide the given interval into n equal sub-intervals. So this is first interval, 1. This is second sub-interval, 2. Then third sub-interval, then fourth sub-interval, etc. The n minus 1th sub-interval and nth sub-interval. So the first value, the a is taken as x0 and corresponding value is y0. Then this is x1, where x1 minus x0 is h, and corresponding to x1 we have y1. Then after second interval we have x2 and corresponding one is y2. Now this one is x3 and corresponding one is y3. Then this is x4. Then here we have y4, etc. This is x n minus 2 and this is y n minus 2. This is x n minus 1 and this is y n minus 1, and b is xn and corresponding value is yn. Okay. So now we are going to consider the first two sub-intervals. Combine the first two sub-intervals, that is these two. Then what is interval? This is integral x0 to x2, right? Integral x0 to x2. So in this interval, in this integral, how many points are there? X0, x1, x2. So we can apply Simpson's one-third rule, right? So this one is integral x0 to x2 y dx or f of x dx, that is equal to what? H by 3 into y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. Is it okay? So that is this first two region. We are combining first two subinterval. Is it okay? So now, what about the if you are combining the next two subinterval, that is these two, that is third and fourth subinterval, what we can write? Integral, its starting point is x2, its ending point is x4, so x4. Now y dx equal to what? Again, this integral have 3 points x2, x3, x4. So what is this integral after applying Simpson's one-third rule? We have h by 3 into, now first value is y2 plus the middle point is y3, so 4 into y3 plus the last point is y4. y4. Is it okay? So what we are doing? We are combining the adjacent two subinterval. First two subinterval, next two subinterval, next two subinterval, etc., etc., last two subinterval. So in order to say the last two subinterval, one assumption is very important, and without that we can't derive the composite Simpson's one-third rule. That is nothing but n must be an even number. If n is not even, if n is odd, we can't derive or we can't consider the last two subinterval, or we can't apply or we can't derive the Simpson's composite one-third rule. That is not possible. So in order to combine, if n is not even, then definitely we will combine these two subinterval, then remaining one subinterval will be there. Okay. If n is even, what will happen? If n is even, then we can combine the last two subinterval. Okay, like this one. We can combine these two. So this is possible if and only if n is even. So with this combination, we can write the last one as xn minus 2 integral xn minus 2 to xn y dx, that is equal to again h by 3 into yn minus 2 plus 4yn minus 1 plus yn. So this is a last integral, last region. So what we can do now? We can combine. So if you are asked to find the integration from A to B, we can consider all these shaded area. We can consider all these in sub segments, that is x0 to x2, x2 to x4, x4 to x6, x6 to x8, etc., etc., xn minus 2 xn. Okay. So we can write the interval. So here we are considering x0 to x2, x2 to x4, etc., xn minus 2 xn. So I is equal to integral x0 to xn, that is a to b, f of x dx is equal to integral x0 to x2 f of x dx plus integral x2 to x4 f of x dx plus etc. plus integral xn minus 2 to xn f of x dx, that is equal to, what is the first one, h by 3 into y0 plus 4y1 y2 we derived here, that is the first one, this part, plus h by 3 into y2 plus 4y3 plus y4, that is the second one, integral x2 to x4 f of x dx is this one, h by 3 into y2 plus 4y3 plus y4 plus etc. plus the last one is h by 3 into yn minus 2 plus 4yn minus 1 plus yn. Is it okay all of you? Okay. So here you can see that how many y0 terms are there. If you are considering the entire equation, we can take h by 3 to outside. Now, if you are considering y0, we have only one y0, right? How many yn terms are there? One yn term. How many odd terms are there? For example, how many y1 terms are there? 4y1. 4y1, we have 4y3, 4y5, 4y7, etc. 4yn minus 1. So if you are considering odd terms, we have 4 such odd terms are there. Now consider the even terms like y2, y4, y6, etc. yn minus 2. How many such terms are there? If you are considering y2, here we have one y2, here we have another y2. So we have two y2. Then if you are considering y4, here we have y4. The next term is h by 3 into y4 plus 4y5 plus y6. So we have 2y4. We have 2y6, etc. We have 2yn minus 2. So we can write the integral equation I is equal to h by 3 into, in curly bracket, y0 plus yn plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus y5 plus etc. plus yn minus 1, means odd terms, plus 2 into y2 plus y4 plus etc. plus yn minus 2. So please note down this equation. I is equal to h by 3 into y0 plus yn plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus etc. plus yn minus 1 plus 2 into y2 plus y4 plus etc. plus yn minus 2. So this is known as Simpson's composite one third rule. Simpson's composite one third rule. Okay. So the question is, evaluate integral 0 to pi by 2 sin x dx by trapezoidal rule and Simpson's one third rule. Okay, so this is a question. Evaluate integration 0 to pi by 2 sin x dx by trapezoidal rule and Simpson's one third rule. Is it noted? So here you can see that the value of n is not given. If the value of n is not given, then you have to assume that value. So here we can assume that n equal to 10. We are going to divide this interval into 10 sub-intervals. So take n equal to 10. Okay, so please note, if it is not given, you have to assume some value. So n is equal to 10, take that. Now by using n equal to 10, what is the value of h? If n equal to 10, what is the value of h? What is the value of h? Always remember, h is equal to b minus a divided by n. So that is equal to pi by 2 minus 0 divided by 10, that is pi by 20. So h is equal to pi by 20. Okay, so these are the data. So you can see that I am not deleting this 2. I am not removing this 2. So 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi means x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, xy, etc. x10. Okay. So these are the corresponding y values. Now apply the trapezoidal composite rule. What is trapezoidal composite rule? I is equal to h by 2 into y0 plus, that is first point plus last point. Here the last point is y10. Y10 plus, this is curly bracket. So y0 plus y10 plus 2 into remaining points y1 plus y3, sorry, y2 plus etc. plus yn, 2 into remaining points. So find it, find the value. Please note h is pi by 20. H is equal to pi by 20. Again use radians. This is y0 0, this is y10 1, then plus remaining values 2 into 0.1564 plus 0.3090 plus 0.4540 plus 0.5880 plus 0.707 plus 0.8090 plus 0.8910 plus 0.9511 plus 0.9877 equal to 0.9981. H by 3 into, then curly bracket, first value plus last value. Here the last value is y10 plus 4 into odd terms. So that is y1 plus y3 plus etc. plus y9 plus 2 into y2 even terms, y2 plus y4 plus etc. plus y8. So find the answer. So for me, so I is equal to h by 3 into y0 plus y10, this is y10 plus 4 into odd terms, that is y1 plus y3 plus y9 plus 2 into even term, that is y2 plus y4 plus etc. y8, that is equal to pi by 20, that is h, divided by 3 into first term 0 plus last term 1 plus 4 into odd terms. So 4 into odd terms, these are the odd terms, plus that is 4 into 0.1564 plus 0.4540 plus 0.7071 plus 0.8910 plus 0.9877 plus 2 into 0.3090 plus 0.5880 plus 0.8090 plus 0.9511. So my answer is 1.0002. Please note here this is the value after applying trapezoid rule and this one is after Simpson's rule. So normally if you are using a large number of data within this range, that is 0 to 1, if n equal to 100 or n equal to 1000, then you can see that the integral value will be almost equal to 1 or very close to 1. And you can note one more thing, Simpson's 1/3 rule will give more precise value than trapezoidal rule. Simpson's 1/3 rule will give more precise value than Simpson's trapezoidal rule.